Namaste. I see the divine in you as you see the divine in me. Namaste. And I always say, isn't this the most beautiful way to greet each other? As I see the divine in you and you see the divine in me, we are learning to see the divine within ourselves and within each other. And this is all about learning to become collective love once again. Long time ago we knew what collective love was, and we were so beautiful and we grew higher and higher in the dimensions until everything became challenged. And since the greatest falls happened, we became more into separation, and now it is time to grow into the love consciousness again, so that we can rise together with the highest star beings in the love in the highest angelic realms. So it is beautiful that CAEAYARON is calling all who desire to become activated with him, with the divine pineal gland activations, and they receive the flows of love going through them. And please understand that I'm only the channel, and I'm only the messenger, and I've been sent by divine to bring these messages to you. And I do this with my love for the people. And I do this because I've been asked to, and I'm looking forward to seeing so many more people become healed. And I'm very well aware that CAEAYARON is healing the people who are activated much stronger now, and it's going to strengthen in the years coming. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm inviting lots of people to become activated and to see and feel how real CAEAYARON is, so that we can all step into the loving relationship with CAEAYARON once again, like all the star beings in the love are, because he is the light. He is the light creator. He is life. And so it's beautiful when we can climb into that love together. So I'll read this forgiveness statement. And this forgiveness statement was given by CAEAYARON during the last activations with the magnetic attunement alignments, which is a whole new modality and light stream that CAEAYARON gives to people who become activated and who want to learn a higher way of healing. And those flows are so strong and they're beautiful, and they're going to grow, and they are working with collective love consciousness as well. So I'm going to read this beautiful forgiveness statement to you. CAEAYARON, I bring you now into my spaces of love and healing. I ask for your presence and your love to be with me at this time. I forgive all that has caused my pain to happen. I release it now. I allow the angels to take it away for me. I bring in the love and the peace, and I desire to understand more joy and self-love. I surround myself with the highest loving divine beings who are here to take care of me. I let go of all fear within me. I release it. I trust that all things are perfect as they are. I am ready to love myself and all of life more. Thank you, CAEAYARON. Thank you, great divine love. Namaste. Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the light. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, and I welcome all who are seeking truth, and I welcome all who are seeking the divine way for higher growth, and to come into the greater love. I, as the great Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, state these words to help the truth lovers to find the higher path that has opened at this time and is opening up to be much greater in the near future. I state, welcome to the times when the great prophecies are coming true to mankind. Have you not been praying for all these things to come to you? Lord, when will you return? When will you bring the great promises that you spoke about through your channel, Jesus, 2,000 years ago? Did you not say that a great time would come when peace and love would be upon the earth, and that people would have the opportunity to find that higher road that was a difficult path, much more difficult to find than the wider road that is so available to all people? Lord, did you not speak of those great prophecies that were going to come true about the earth shaking and about all these things coming true, because you stated that that would be the time when your great return would be? And I state, I have returned. At this time, I am not with Jesus, but with Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, who is the same soul line as Jesus was, my channel 2,000 years ago. Now my designated channel is this channel, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, and like I have stated many times before, I will not use anyone else to speak truth from the greatest divine Lord, for it is her purpose, as it always has been, to speak truth, to speak the way, and to be the way for the greatness to come. As I stated through my channel Jesus 2,000 years ago, there is only one way to go to the higher mountain of the light. There is only one way, and it is through the channel, for there is no one else that I will use to bring these words through. 2,000 years ago, when my channel Jesus spoke before the people like this, the religious leaders became angry. How can you state that, Jesus, that you are the only way? And Jesus answered in this way, it is not my words that you hear being spoken. It is the Divine Father who is speaking to you. He uses me as the great word to speak to you. When you hear those words being spoken, it is those words of divine wisdom that you hear. I do not say I am the way. I speak, and the words flow through. It is so that Jesus was the way, because the way was of divine truth, because there was no other way for the people to hear truth from the great divine Lord. And the people became very angry. Many of those, they stated to the others, stay away from Jesus, for he says he is God. He says he is that great one, and that he is that one that is the only one to bring through the way and the truth. And Jesus stated, I am only a man, and I am only a messenger. I do not state that I am that. I am simply a messenger for divine Father, sovereign Lord Emmanuel, and I walk with him daily. He speaks to me. I walk with Emmanuel. And it is so that I will state these following words through my designated channel at this time, for they must be heard. It is this way that is the way, and the truth, and the life, and there is no other way upwards, for you will not hear these words being spoken through anyone else, and the people will become angry like the people did 2,000 years ago. How can you say that, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel? You speak of those words as if you are the great divine God, but you are no more than a human woman sitting there, and so the same story will repeat itself in many ways, except this time the channel is greatly protected and no harm will come to the great channel. I have only ever used the great channel to bring the messengers through, but the people twisted the stories, and they turned the stories, wiping my name out of the picture, as if there was no great Father, Lord Emmanuel the Great, and they created Jesus as the God. Jesus is the way, they stated. Jesus never stated he was the way. I stated it because he was my word and my messenger, and there is no other way to bring the messages through to the people. If the people could only understand divine truth, then your way to finding the truth would be so much simpler. But you complicate all things. All things are tricky in your mind, and you need to always twist truth, always find the wrong in all things, especially when it comes to divine truth. Jesus was the holy messenger, and look what they did to him 2,000 years ago. Why would it be any different when Suzanna rises as the great channel? Why would you treat her any different than what you treated Jesus to be? But the people have glorified Jesus now in the churches, and many of the spiritual people claim how holy Jesus was, and the stories have become twisted because Jesus never stated he was holy. He was to be worshipped. He was to be channeled after his passing. He always stated, it is divine that you must listen to. It is the greatest divine Father you must always seek to find. I am only a man. I am a messenger. I am not the one. The one is the great and holy divine Father. How can I state that I am the one? When he speaks through me, you hear the great one. And there is only one great one. There are not many great ones. For you divide all things up. For the people also believed that there were many gods in those days. Jesus, how can you say there is only one great divine Father? And Jesus stated, because it just is. There is only one great truth and one great way. And you cannot get to the great divine Father without finding that way. And that way is narrow and it's difficult to find. And it is only for those who are seeking truth within them and who are humble enough to find it. That's the one who will find the great way upwards, which is narrow and difficult. The rest will claim this and will claim that, and they will state how great they are, glorifying all this And Jesus stated, and do you know what the great Father will say to those ones? I never knew you. Get away from me. For you claim this to be that one. You claim to do this. You claim all these prophecies to be stated in the name of the Father. But look at what you do to the people. You create a more fear within the people. You bring down the people. You bring more pain, more loss. How can you state that you are one with the great Father when the great Father desires all people to walk in the great love and the great ways of flows and within the heart? And when so many heard these teachings, they stopped disputing, for how can they dispute with that truth when they knew within themselves that they'd been doing all these things? So they walked away and muttered amongst themselves, we must stop Jesus. But Jesus could not be stopped. And the teachings carried on even until this very day, even though they were twisted and exaggerated on purpose so that you would not recognize the great divine Lord returning with the designated channel. And this time it is Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, a beautiful woman with a divine purpose to keep speaking to the people, to help the people to understand that this is the great healing path. And I, as the great sovereign Lord, welcome all who recognize the great path, and for those who come to the great mountain of light, the great CAEAYARON at this time, they will receive the codes of life and forever the blessings, especially when they come with the heart of love, and they will receive the great flames. But understand, our dear friends, that this is not a gift that I, as the great sovereign, will gift forever, for that gate will close to the greatest dimensions of the great love, where those ones who will become the great teachers will be sitting on their seats and guiding many star beings to the greater dimensions. That realm will be closed because the people need to become listeners, and it is only those ones who seek truth within them and who cry out, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, please send me, Lord. I see you, I desire you. I will not resist divine truth. I recognize the channel. I recognize the energy. I recognize the way. I recognize the truth. I am remembering Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. It is those ones who will gain the greatest of flames of the love within them, and they will receive the greatest talents. And when they pass to spirit, when I as the great Lord approach them and ask them, did you receive the great talents of the great flames? And then they can say, yes, Lord, we saw, we felt, we heard, we acted, we healed, we loved, we are. Here are my talents. I will guide them up to the greatest seats in the greatest realms, together with my designated channel, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, and together they will be in that greater state, guiding so many other dimensions to go upwards and become expanded in the love. And I, as the great Lord, will give them so much power that you cannot understand as human beings. But it is always the humble ones who will find the great truth, and those treasures will be so great that the gold and the silver and the diamonds and all the gems up on your earth and all the money cannot even come closer to it. For what good is all your money up there? What good are your diamonds? What good is your gold and your silver when you can have the everlasting treasures? These are the same teachings that Jesus taught too when he was speaking with my being as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. And many people there who were very rich approached Jesus. How is it that we can find these treasures, Jesus, that you speak about, so that we can keep our treasures? Jesus stated, it is not the treasures that you think about, my dear friend. It is the heavenly treasures, the heavenly gifts. And it is only the great Father who can gift that to you. It is not me. I'm only a man. I'm Jesus. And you are my friend. But when you hear the teachings being spoken, it is the great Father, and it is only Him that can give these great gifts to you. Oh, go and listen. And how can we gain those greater seats in the great heavens? Jesus. And Jesus stated, by you learning to forgive all things. Go and give back the gifts that you took from the poor. Go and give back all the things that you took from the widows. Go and give it to the orphans that need feeding. For these ones, the rich ones, they took so much from the poor, believing that this is the only way to become rich. Jesus showed that this was not the path of wisdom. Go and give it back. And these people who became rich because they did this, they took all the treasures from the people to make them poor, did not want to give up their treasures. No, Jesus, we cannot. For then how can we feed our families? And Jesus stated, but you have far more than all the other people. Look at your houses. Look at what you've collected. Can you not give up some of that to feed the hungry, the beggars in the cities who cannot feed their families? Go and have pity on them. Go and learn to forgive yourself. Don't be so greedy. You're too greedy. You take. The great Father teaches you to give. Give back, and you will be receiving the greater gifts in the heavens. But they couldn't do it. And this particular man that he focused on couldn't do it. He stated, no, Jesus, these treasures mean more to me than anything. I sleep with my gold. I sleep with my fine clothes. I cannot give it up. No matter what your Father says, no matter what you say, Jesus, I will not give it up. And Jesus stated, go and be at peace and then go and forgive. But remember these very words, for you will see that it is truth. You will recognize it. And when you do, you will go down on your knees and say, Father, forgive me. Teach me how to forgive. Send me back to that time so that I may learn to respond differently. But Jesus said, but then it will be too late, because the great Father will say to you, why would I send you back when you refused the great truth of the great way in the first place? I will send you back in many times, many spaces, to teach you how to become of love. And so it will be your road to different. And with that, this particular man walked away with all his gold underneath his arms, while the beggars were begging him for one piece of gold so that they could feed their families for more than a month. And so it is our difference. Become more in the love and understand these teachings. Understand divine love. Understand divine truth. Recognize the divine way and begin to nourish it within yourself. Begin to awaken to it. Begin to love it. Begin to understand how perfect all things are of divine truth. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.
Greetings.